I don't know. Are you familiar with Dan Le Batard at all?
Isn't that a nigga Puerto Rican? I get him and that
Uh,
other team mixed up.
but he's Cuban. He was highly questionable. You know the clips that show Poppy, he be rapping like lyrics.
Uh,
That's Dan's dad. And
okay.
he's out of Miami. He blew up because he covered the Miami Hurricanes when they had all them hood niggas there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he pretty much he's a voice at ESPN. This is last month with the company, and like it's low key crazy because like he's one of the reasons I wanted to get into radio and stuff. So like with Dan, like you remember when LeBron left Miami and went back to Cleveland? He bought a billboard in Cleveland saying, "You're welcome, LeBron. We gave you 2 rings." Like, he was just so controversial, but like he was real about it. And low key, like he spoke up for like minorities and like people who didn't really have a voice. So in a way, he became like a staple in like black community without actually like trying to be. Like he was really just being a good person with like, he'll have fun with it. So ESPN is like full of debate shows and then like they'll show his radio show and they're just having fun or like highly questionable where like they'll have Poppy or just having fun and stuff. Like he discovered Bomani Jones, got him on ESPN. Like a lot of the big people on ESPN now that like a lot of people's favorite, like Mina Kimes, Dominique Foxworth, Katie Nolan, Pablo Torre, they all like associated with the Levitar show. Like he helped like build a lot of people. So like seeing he's gone is like crazy. It was one of those things like when you found out Joe Budden was leaving Spotify, you were like, oh damn. But then you realize it's like, well, I mean, he's doing his own, he's probably gonna end up doing his own thing. So it's cool. But I personally I think ESPN really made a mistake because a lot of people like when Spotify they didn't really account for like Joe Budden's cult following to leave. I think ESPN doesn't understand how like Dan Lebatard they have a lot of people who just fuck with his show. So once he's out, a lot of people aren't going to watch ESPN anymore because it's so redundant. Like everything they're just arguing about the same thing over and over again. So I don't know. I just thought it was crazy that like he's leaving and it has some they did some shady shit. They fired one of the people on his show without telling him. So like he was just blindsided by that. And he was like, what? So he ended up paying due out of his own pocket. He was like, nah, like you ain't going nowhere. And like that's when it started. And I think the CEO that rocked with him, he ended up going to rehab and they hired someone else. Yeah, and that's really just like when there's a change in management. We'll get to that later when we talk about complex. But when there's a change in management or ownership like that, that's just tends to, like they start butting heads because it's like I mean I didn't really like you starting all these controversies. I'm not the one who brought you in here, so it's like
Yeah.
it's just
So did he cover Hurricane Chris?
no. He didn't cover Hurricane Chris.
What about the hurricane?
No, but he on his show he brought in like he would have like Rick Ross like people out of Miami. He support like they rock with him heavy. Like Rick Ross, they rock with him. Trying to think. What else?
Freddie Gibbs. I know you fuck with him.
He probably been on a Lobstar show at one point. They be interviewing people like all the time. Like, but no, it's just like him leaving ESPN was just so crazy. Like that was just like the end of 2020. It's just like damn, like another like something else that just. But then again, like I said, it may not be bad because he's just doing his own thing now. So it's just the convenience of watching him on ESPN. So
Nigga, why you got two coats on?
because I'm technically outside.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
Cool. My bad. I was listening to all that bullshit, but I was about ESPN and Disney. And that nigga, who the fuck watches ESPN anyways anymore?
yeah. Exactly. But I mean, with
We got
Dan Lebatard leaving, that's gonna be even less people. I'm telling you, it's gonna be even less people. Like he spoke up for like there's this every time at the end of the show they'll play a clip of Greg Popovich say, we live in a racist country," or like they'll just expose like racism. Well, like how like the NFL be racist as hell. He been exposing that for years. He been supportive of Kaepernick. Like he is such like a voice for like all. Like that's what's like he's one of those people like he's invited to the cookout because he spoke up for black people over the years. I rock with that.